badly, and it was not. I really wish I could say that I'm surprised by it all. I watched this team on film all week, and I thought this could be a problem. We didn't quite seem to have quite the sense of urgency, in some areas that we need to have, thinking that we were kind of, big and bad after we had beaten a couple teams that hadn't won a game, So, we brought these guys in here, and these guys came in here and got after us pretty good. We got the 90-yard play at the early part of the game, and had other opportunities to do things, but we could not quite figure it out. So it was it was probably the result that probably should have been, because they played better than we did, and we got to go back to drawing board. Yes.
Coach, do you feel like your team played down to the competition today?
No, the competition they were as good or better than us. And it was a little bit of a misnomer because of their schedule. But they had places they lost to Furman close. It wasn't a big bad difference in that game. They lost to New Mexico State. They had games in which the game they lost last week was a little bit of a surprise. The team that's playing Charleston Southern today is actually a pretty good football team that beat them last week. But and then they beat Kennesaw. So you got a pretty good little feel from the fact that this team was not a bad football team. It was just that we didn't take advantage of the opportunity. When you get an opportunity to do things against these kind of teams, and you got a chance to make something happen, and you got to make it happen. We had a chance probably to put this team away early in the game. We just didn't. We didn't make any of those plays happen. And as the game went on, they grew more and more doggone confident in their ability. And at that point, then they ended up eventually beating us up pretty good.
Coach, do you feel like it was a particular play or moment in the game when you feel like?
Yeah, I went for the fourth down, back close to goal line. We were only down by one, I think, at that point. And they got it back in. I kind of felt like we had a play. The first thing about going for it on fourth down is you got to be confident in the play. And I was not on the same page with the staff in what we actually tried to execute there. The guy was there, but we didn't make the throw, and I would like to have had a little bit better, different kind of throw, but it didn't work out. But that play was the play that I thought from that point on that they got up by 2 scores. And then at the very end, they scored again to go up by 3. But the 2-score play, the turnover on downs when they went up on 2 scores was the situation that really made the biggest difference in the game.
What was the defense showing you that made it so tough for your offense?
Yeah, they beat us up inside. They did a good job outside of taking away the outside stretch runs, and their safeties fit in there real good. And we didn't hit a good bit of the passes that would make them back off of us. They played a heavy box on us from time to time, but they kind of worked around the edges in a way that we didn't necessarily. And their defensive line was really, really good. So, and we kind of knew that. So at that point, then, it was a situation where we just didn't get coordinated enough to make them back off and give us a little more run game.
Last week on third down conversions, you was 1 of 6, and this week you are 3 of 12. How you plan on addressing this issue?
Yeah, well, we got that is an issue, and we got to find a way to execute better on that in those situations. We need to work on those situations, I guess, more, or at least in a way that we can be more effective.
Can you take us to the touchdown? What exactly you saw?
Which touchdown?
His touchdown.
Oh, Jamar. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Jamar.
Very calm. My teammates executed the play, blocked their guard. Everybody do their job. One unit make everything much easier, so we just gotta focus more on everybody execute and get their job done. Including the whole team.
What did you see on the field from their defense that made it so hard for you guys to run the football today?
I mean, like Coach said, their D line was really good. It's just it's a personal thing. They wanted it more. We have to want more than any other team on stage. You just got to work on more aggressive, stepping up to the challenge.
after you get the fumble recovery there, trying to stem the tide, get some momentum. Just talk a little about what you told your teammates after that play to try to get them back fired up.
At that time, we was feeling like that was the turning of the game. Like we was about to go out there, get the ball back to the offense, and they was gonna go down and score. But things didn't go our way, so we went out there to try to stop them.
That was still during the time that we were down by one score. And, they were trying to go up to go by, they were trying to go down to go by 2 scores again. So, as the game was going, as long as you're within 1 score, especially when you're not being real effective, the last thing you want to do is go down by 2. So, at that point, we were fighting as hard as we could. So, that's why I felt bad about the 4th down play, because I probably should have punted the ball. But you second guess yourself. You think about yourself all the time when you make these kinds of decisions. But it was a case where I could have pointed the ball deep down their own territory and probably got the football back at some point or other. But, it was, I guess I got a little bit too impatient.
Potts making his first career start. Just talk a little about what you saw from him.
Yeah.
Anything surprise you?
No, it didn't. They played 4 guys, all season. So that's part of what they did. It's kind of like Norfolk that came here last year. I thought about them. This was number 5. This guy was number 4. But they've been kind of crying about the fact that they couldn't find a quarterback, and they kept moving from guy to guy. They played 5 guys actually, and this guy ended up being the guy that they played at the end of last game, and we kind of heard from the grapevine leading up to the last couple of days that this guy might be the guy now. So it's like anything else. People just keep going through them until they find the guy that's most effective.
Coach, for you today, you had but there was a lot of pass plays that were like dropped or overthrown. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, that's part of the game when you're in the throw game. You drop a few, you overthrow a few. That's kind of the unknown ingredient in the whole formula that way. And what happens is guys say, that guy's wide open, you just got to hit him right there. Yeah, you're right, but I've seen a lot of wide open guys that people either drop balls or either they throw the ball a little bit here and they don't quite hit. So that kind of makes the situation one where you got to be real careful. But that's why people want to run the football too, because if you can run the football, there's a little bit less, I guess maybe risk when you run the football as opposed to when you're passing the ball. But at the same time, there's a lot more to gain in the passing game than there's in the run game. So that's why we do it. But I'm a little bit impatient sometimes too. That I'm sure that kind of grows. Sometimes it'd be better maybe if I would allow us to just kind of sit there and just kind of pound it and try to maybe see if they can maybe make the first down and get 3, second down you get 4, third down you get 3, and then you try to figure out how to get another yard. If that's not 10 yards,